The world of finance is rarely calm for long. Like the ocean before a hurricane, the surface may shimmer with a deceptive tranquility. But beneath, powerful tides are shifting. Right now, you might feel overwhelmed by a relentless barrage of bad news, rising inflation squeezing your wallet, trade wars rattling global supply chains, a U.S. economy that seems stalled, and stock markets lurching up and down like a ship in a storm. It's easy to get lost in the noise, to feel paralyzed by uncertainty, to wonder if the whole system is teetering on the edge of collapse. But if you look closer, you'll notice something remarkable happening beneath the surface. While headlines scream about chaos, smart investors, those who understand how the game is really played, are quietly, methodically accumulating assets. They're not running from the storm. They're preparing for what comes after, positioning themselves for the next great surge of opportunity. Because in every crisis, there is a transfer of wealth. The only question is, will you be on the winning side? Consider the recent recovery in the U.S. stock market. On the surface, it might look like a sign of renewed optimism, a return to normalcy. But the truth is far more nuanced. The recovery isn't happening because everything is suddenly fine. It's happening because the big game has already been set in motion by those who have both the vision and the resources to shape the market's direction. Think about the Federal Reserve's recent decisions. By raising interest rates, the Fed made U.S. assets more attractive to global investors. Money from around the world poured into the dollar, driving its value higher. As the dollar surged, other major currencies, like the euro, the yen, the won, fell. And as those currencies weakened, assets in Europe and Asia were sold off at fire sale prices. The result? A once-in-a-decade buying opportunity for those with the courage and capital to act. So who's buying in this moment of fear and uncertainty? The answer is clear. American capitalists. Look at Warren Buffett, the legendary investor known for his patience and discipline. While others hesitated, he poured billions into Japanese companies, betting on their long-term potential. Financial groups from the U.S. have quietly snapped up businesses in places like Turkey and Indonesia, countries whose economies have been battered by currency turmoil, but whose underlying assets remain valuable. And what about you? Are you still waiting for things to feel safe again? Are you glued to the headlines, drowning in a sea of bad news, while the biggest fortunes of the next decade are being quietly made? The uncomfortable truth is this: if you don't invest during a crisis, you may never catch up to those who do. When the dust settles, you'll look around and see prices rising, your income struggling to keep pace, and your chance at real wealth slipping further and further away. Because money, like water, is always flowing. If you don't understand where it's going, if you don't act when opportunity knocks, you risk being left behind, trapped in a game you never even knew the rules of. The financial elite aren't relying on luck or emotion. They're following a set of principles that have stood the test of time, principles you can learn and apply yourself. So what do the world's savviest investors do when markets turn turbulent? What can you learn from their playbook? The first rule is simple: don't invest based on emotions. Follow the big money. Emotional investing leads to panic selling, to chasing trends, to making decisions you'll regret. The smart money doesn't panic. They analyze, they strategize, and they act with discipline, especially when others are still frozen by fear. Second, buy when others are fearful. Sell when others are greedy. This is the essence of contrarian investing. When the crowd is running for the exits, prices fall to levels that make no sense. That's when the wealthy step in, buying assets at a discount. Later, when optimism returns and everyone is eager to buy, they sell, often for enormous profits. Third, never play unless you're sure you'll win. The financial elite don't gamble. They prepare. They study the market, waiting patiently for opportunities where the odds are stacked in their favor. If the situation isn't right, they don't force it. They wait for their pitch, then swing hard. It's important to realize that both the U.S. government and big capitalists have a vested interest in market downturns, but for different reasons. The government wants to attract cash into bonds, to shore up its budget and stabilize the economy. Capitalists, on the other hand, want to scoop up cheap assets. Once they've loaded up, they'll lobby for the Fed to loosen monetary policy, to print more money, to drive asset prices higher. It's a cycle that repeats itself, enriching those who know how to play it. Here's how the game works. As the market crashes, the government steps in to stabilize things, often by printing money. That money flows into the hands of those who bought at the bottom, driving up asset prices and multiplying their wealth. Meanwhile, those who sat on the sidelines, clinging to cash, find that their savings buy less and less. The gap between the haves and have-nots widens. And what about you? Are you still grinding away, working long hours just to save a few dollars? Are you still convinced that holding cash is the safest bet? Remember, money never stands still. If you don't put it to work, someone else will use it to build their fortune. The banks, the corporations, the financial elite, they're all looking for ways to make your money work for them. Shouldn't you be doing the same? Don't let headlines dictate your financial future. The news is designed to grab your attention, to stoke your fears, to keep you glued to the screen. But the real opportunities aren't found in the headlines. They're found in the underlying trends, the flows of capital, the shifts in policy, the moments when fear creates bargains. Invest based on strategy, not sentiment. Don't follow the market. Lead it. Go where the smart money is going, even if it feels uncomfortable in the moment. That's where real wealth is made. This may be the biggest financial opportunity of the next decade. The decisions you make now will echo for years to come. Will you seize the moment, or will you let it pass you by? If you're ready to take control of your financial destiny, to learn the rules of the game and play to win, you're not alone. There's a community of like-minded investors out there, people who refuse to settle for mediocrity, who are determined to build lasting wealth. So how do you get started? The first step is education. Learn how markets really work. Study the moves of the world's greatest investors. Understand the cycles of boom and bust, the forces that drive capital around the globe. Don't rely on luck or on the advice of those who profit from your ignorance. Next, develop a strategy. Decide what kind of investor you want to be. Are you looking for long-term growth, steady income, or a mix of both? What's your risk tolerance? What assets make sense for your goals? Stocks, real estate, commodities, or something else? The right answer will be different for everyone, but the key is to have a plan and stick to it. Then, take action. The best strategy in the world means nothing if you never pull the trigger. Start small if you need to, but start. Build your confidence, learn from your mistakes, and keep moving forward. Remember, the greatest risk is doing nothing. Finally, stay disciplined. Markets will always be volatile. There will always be moments of fear and uncertainty. But if you stick to your plan, if you keep your emotions in check, you'll be amazed at what you can achieve over time. The most successful investors aren't the ones who avoid risk altogether. They're the ones who understand risk, who manage it intelligently, and who act when others hesitate. They're not afraid to be different, to go against the crowd, to trust their own judgment. So the next time you see a scary headline, ask yourself, is this a reason to panic or an opportunity to invest? The answer could make all the difference. Remember, you don't need to be a billionaire to benefit from these principles. You just need to start thinking like one. Build your knowledge, develop your strategy, and take action. Over time, you'll find yourself on the winning side of the next financial wave. Don't let fear hold you back. Don't let the noise of the market drown out your own potential. The world is full of opportunities for those who are willing to look beyond the headlines, to see the bigger picture, to act with courage and conviction. If you want to change your financial future, now is the time. Not tomorrow, not next year, now. The decisions you make today will shape your life for years to come. So ask yourself, are you ready to stop waiting? Are you ready to stop letting others dictate your destiny? Are you ready to start building real wealth, to join the ranks of those who see opportunity where others see only risk? If the answer is yes, then take the first step. Start learning, start planning, start investing. The storm may be raging, but on the other side lies a world of opportunity. The choice is yours. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. There are resources, communities, and mentors ready to help you on your journey. Seek them out. Ask questions. Share your experiences. Together we can navigate the storm and emerge stronger than ever. Don't let this moment pass you by. Don't settle for a life of missed opportunities and unfulfilled potential. The game is changing, and those who act now will shape the future. So take a deep breath, tune out the noise, and focus on what matters. The path to financial freedom isn't easy, but it's within your reach. All it takes is the courage to start. If you're ready to take control, to build lasting wealth, to join the ranks of the smart money, then let's begin. Your journey starts today.